Hey everyone, I'm Drew, and in this video, I'll walk through how to make a portfolio using GitHub Pages that can be really done in 10 to 15 minutes. If you're anything like me, you've worked on a few data projects to hone your skills, but weren't really thinking about hosting these projects in one place for others to see. You were just kind of getting the work done to teach yourself. So then you started hearing about project portfolios, maybe GitHub repositories, and then you thought to yourself, hey, how do I even get started with that? So as I've gone through this learning journey, I really wanted to compile all the useful things that helped me get to this point, have a portfolio, get into GitHub repositories, using Git, things like that. So shout out to all the other YouTube creators that made things way more simple than anything that I read online. We'll get into it in this one with using Jekyll and how it used to be super easy for a theme for your website, and now it's just a little extra step you have to take. So if you're new to this and you want to show your projects off, but don't really know what to use, what's industry standard, or where to get started, really hope this video can point you in the right direction. All right, so step one, and what we'll do here is actually go ahead and go look at the GitHub Pages website, and we'll take things from there. So I don't know about you, but being kind of new to this space and seeing this website was like stepping into a new world for me. So I started researching, where could I host my portfolio? What would be the easiest way to do it? And I really found that GitHub Pages was kind of mostly used by everyone I was looking at to try and do this myself. I started scrolling down, and creating a repository was new to me. Git was new to me. Cloning repositories, like a lot of this code, was definitely a little intimidating when I first looked at it. But once I went through the process, this was all pretty easy. So let's start with the final product. What you can see here is just a pretty simple portfolio page. Definitely took me less than 30 minutes, probably take you 10 to 15 if you just follow these simple steps. So really the only things that you're gonna need to do this once we create our GitHub account and create this repository, we'll need a README file, so you'll put in some information there, and a config file that is going to set up the theme of your page. So not much is going in there, but we do need both files to make this work. So let's jump into GitHub itself. So step one, once you create your GitHub account, we're actually going to come in here. So this is where all of that is hosted. You can see your repositories and things like that. But what we'll do once that's created, you're going to go ahead and jump into your repositories. So I've got a few in here. What we're going to do is we're going to select new. So you'll be brought to this page to create a new repository. Two options for you here. You can either do your username as the website itself, which I've already created that one as I was kind of messing around and practicing with this. But what that would look like would be dpom93, so that's my username, and then it would be github.io, and that is exactly how it would show underneath where it says red. I've already created it, so it's in red, but that's how the URL would show for this, dpom93.github.io. Your second option is to call it whatever you want, and that's actually going to make it pop up. So this will be the username, and then it'll be a slash and whatever this repository's name is. So let's just go ahead and call this one example portfolio, and that is available. I'm not going to give it a description. We do want this to be public, and then we're going to want that README file in there. Don't have to worry about anything else. So we'll go ahead and create this repository. Nice, and then we can see that we've kind of got the shell of it going on here. The next thing we're gonna have to do is add a config file. This is where we're gonna host our theme. Previously, there used to be an option where you could just click a button and it would just add the theme into your pages there, but that's no longer the case. So it's actually really simple. All we'll need to do here, and real quickly, we'll just go over, these are the supported themes. I frankly think a lot of them look a little funny. So we're just going to use this minimal one for now. There are a slew of other ones that you can find online, but we're just going to keep this simple. I'm going to use the minimal one, and we'll get this thing going. So I'm going to come back over here to my example portfolio. What we'll do is add a file here. So click that, create a new file, and what we're going to call this one, so we're going to name our file, and I'm just going to call this config.yml. So this is where we're going to host that information. So now that we've named that, this is going to tell our page to look into here for the theme. So all we need to type in is the theme itself, which I'll do that. So my title is just going to be my name. I do have a logo in here. I'll go over that at the end because that tricked me up a little bit on how to get that in there. I'll have a description that just shows up underneath your headshot or whatever image that you want to have in there. Show downloads, that's for zip files and things. I just commented that one out for now. And then down here, the important piece is the theme. So Jekyll theme, minimal, Again, everything comes from Jekyll, and these are the options there. So from here, we're going to commit our changes, and cool, we'll just have that as the message. So now that we've got our two files in here, what we can do, we don't really need to touch config anymore. So now that we open this up, we can see it's got our example portfolio name in here. I'll just keep that in. That hashtag or pound sign designates header 1. So we can put different headers that we want to in here. So maybe I'll do header 2 and I'll say projects. This will be my first section. Maybe I'll give it 3 of these and we'll just say project 1. And then underneath there, maybe I'll do some bullet points for it. So maybe this is like description and then links, and we'll go project 2. Whoops. Project 2, and same thing, we'll just go description and links. Maybe underneath, just thinking about a portfolio, what's some other stuff that I may want in there? Probably my education, and let's do a bullet point of like some cool university, and I probably want my work history in here as well. Workplace 1 and workplace 2. So now we've got this. What this is going to do is read into our page itself. So we'll go ahead and commit these changes. Nice. And now we can see in the README file that we have that information, and we can see it formatted out a little bit. So step 3, now that we've got our two files in here, what we want to do is actually set this up on Pages. So you're going to go to settings, and you're going to come on down here to Pages. From here, we can see deploy from branch. That's what we want. We'll go down to this branch. Right now it says none. We're going to want to change this to main and then root, because we want it to pull the two files from our root repository. And then you're going to click save. Now, hopefully we can catch this fast enough. What you'll want to do is head over to this actions button. And then we can see that this is working right now on our Pages build and deployment. So once we get a green button here, we know that our page is live. All right, we waited maybe 30, 45 seconds to a minute, and now we have this green check mark. So what we can do now, we're going to want to find this deployments here, and then we can see that this is our GitHub Pages is now deployed. So this is the URL that you'll use to check it out. And if we click on that, awesome, we can see it's got our name, it has that text. We'll go over putting that image in there here in a minute. But now it says example portfolio, projects, project 1, description and links, education, and work history. So pretty actually quick and simple to get it going. Just a couple of key steps in there. And now we can start to fill this out. All right, so let's say we wanted a place to store any images for our portfolio. So anything from headshot to screenshots of your projects that you want to put into the website itself. What we'll need is a third file in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a file, create new file. And I've heard a lot of conflicting information on this one. This is what I found to work so far. All I'm going to do is type in docs / and you can see it's starting to create new folders or subfolders within here. I'm gonna have one called assets. I think it's important that one's called docs, one's called assets, and I need another one in here that will say maybe I'll just throw in like, I don't know, CSS or something. So from here we can see we've got the green mark here to commit changes. So I'll go ahead and do that, commit changes, and now we see this living in here. You can see that I had to put this folder in because I want all of my assets, all my images to live under the assets subfolder here. So now what I can do is actually click add a file again and upload files in here. So that's gonna take me to this page, and it's gonna ask you to choose your files. So we'll go ahead and click choose your files, and it's gonna bring up your downloads folder wherever you have it. So what I'm gonna do, I've actually created a headshot in here, circle headshot. So I'm gonna open this one. If you want tips on how to create kind of that circle path, I just used Canva and got that done. So pretty simple, saved with my downloads, so I've got it here. Open, and now we're gonna want to commit these changes. I call that one headshot _ circle. This will take us back to our repository, Let's click on Docs Assets, and now I can see that my headshot circle is in here as a PNG. So let's go ahead and get that into our website. So let's now go ahead and get that into our website. We'll go back to example portfolio. What we'll do here is go into our config. And you can see I already have a path here. So all I would need to do is take away the comment out. I better go back in here to edit it. Comment that out, docs assets, headshot underscore circle dot PNG. So you just need to make sure that you have the correct path in here. Commit your changes and you're good to go. If you don't know how to type out the path or want to make sure that it's correct and not type stuff in here endlessly, we can come on back here, head into your docs assets, and then we're going to find this circle PNG. So you'll see a big blown up version of your fathead, and go ahead, head up to these 3 dots. We'll go ahead and just copy this path, or there's your hotkeys if you want to use those, and we'll do that. Head back to our example portfolio, head back into our config, and then you can see that's already in there, but if I wanted to, if that was not already there, take that out, paste, and that's going to be the exact pathway for your headshot. Well, then you'd go up, commit your changes, and then we'll head back to actions, and we'll see that that is building and deploying. And just like that, after 44 seconds, it's ready to go. So let's go ahead and click deployments. We'll go ahead and click our URL. It'll now take us in, and we'll see our headshot is showing up there nicely. So now what I want to do is go in. You can see I already have a link in here, but we are going to go over how to add links under your projects or anywhere else you want to within your portfolio. So we're going to head into our README file because we're going to want to put the links in there. This is where all the info is popping up in our website. So say I've got this project 1 description and links. So say I wanted to link my GitHub repository. I'm going to do these square brackets, and I'm just going to say GitHub repository. Close that off, and then you're going to open this with a parenthesis, and this is going to be your actual link to your GitHub repository. So I'm going to head back to the overview for my profile, and you can see I've got just a couple of repositories pinned in here. So this RShiny for athlete monitoring that I worked on, I'm going to go ahead and click on that. I'm actually going to grab the URL from here. We'll head back in, and I'm going to paste that there. Make sure you close that off, and you can see now it's linked that. So what it's doing is hyperlinking this text with that URL. We're going to go ahead and commit those changes. Awesome. And let's go to actions, and we can see that this is being built. So we'll give that, up to a minute. So now that that is deployed successfully, what I'll do is actually click on deployments here, and then we can go ahead and open up our portfolio again. And now I can see that the GitHub repository is in there. So if anyone wanted to go and click on that, it's going to take them directly to this. And this was a Shiny app for me, so I'm also going to link the Shiny app in there. Maybe, I've got a YouTube series with it too, so I can put in a link for the YouTube series. And that is really going to be it. So, if you wanted to get this spun up and running, that's really the minimum information that you're going to need to get this going. And you can do it super, super quick. You can definitely get lost going down some other rabbit holes and formatting your page and looking into all of that. So I hope this was helpful to you. Go and have fun with it and show the world what you got working. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated on the next videos, and I will see you in the next one.